Over here in Reykjavik, so we can tell you what you've got to come and see. I think some of the other newspaper guys are out here as well. But boy, what a special moment for you. Just how special is this to get your first senior call-up?
Really, it's a dream come true, really, you know what I mean? Playing for England and being selected for England, it's every young boy's dream, really. So I'm a privilege and I'm obviously honoured to be selected because it's a good group of lads and I'm just happy to be here.
How did you actually find out?
I got the phone call. I was at home with my dad and I was over the moon. I was excited and I just couldn't really wait to be here. Was it
the manager himself that rang you?
Yeah, the manager rang me. So obviously it's good to get the call of him and just speak to him about it and to obviously come to St George's and to be here.
What did he actually say?
Obviously he told me about my selection, which I was over the moon with, and obviously about my season at United as well. So it's all good, really.
And your dad, you said, was with you. I can't imagine what it's like from a dad's perspective to hear that your 18-year-old son has been called up to the senior England squad. How did he react?
Yeah, he was buzzing for me, but my dad's level-headed, so he kept me down, really, and he was just excited for me, and obviously my whole family was, and obviously it's a dream come true, like I said before. It's good news.
I mean, look, you've played 50 games for Manchester United this season and scored 18 goals. You've now been called up into the senior England squad. That's an awful lot to happen to an 18-year-old. Can you try and sum up how that's felt and where you've come from in the last 12 months? Because it's an extraordinary journey.
Yeah, it's happened quick, really. Like you say, you can be called in any time, and I was called into some of the Europa League games early in the season, and I took my chance, really, and I've just been playing just took every game by as it came, and I've just been out there playing my football. And obviously, I got a good group of lads there helping me and stuff, so it's all good.
Have you had to pinch yourself at any stage? I mean, you've been playing so many games, and they've come thick and fast. I just wonder whether you've ever had chance to sit back and think, geez, this is all happening to me.
No, not really. As games come quick, you know, it is with their season, Europa League and all the other cups. So it all comes quick, so you've got to be ready and obviously be focused at all times, and maybe do that after the season finishes and look back. And but as I was saying, the games come quick, really, so it's focus 100% at all times.
Now, this next question's a difficult one. Obviously, I have to ask you about your Manchester United teammate and captain, Harry Maguire, who's been dropped from this squad, your first squad that you've been called up for those very high-profile reasons. You know him really well. What do you make of what's happened to him?
It's really not for me to say and stuff, really, but like obviously Harry's a good lad and that, and I'm looking forward to see him back at the club when I finish this international break, and just be happy with him to be back with the team, really.
Okay, good man. Look, we don't normally ask about transfer news in an England press conference, but in fairness, Lionel Messi isn't a normal player. There's the prospect of him potentially coming to the Premier League and you'd be lining up against him. What would that be like? What would it be like to have Lionel Messi in the Premier League?
Obviously, it'd be amazing to even come up against him, really, because obviously all young footballers know about Messi, as everyone knows. So to be on the same pitch playing against him, it'd be like another dream come true, really, not just for me, but for everyone, really, because have that someone high profile to come to the Premier League, it's obviously a big thing, isn't it?
I don't know if you'd feel exactly the same if he was wearing a Manchester City shirt, though.
Yeah, I'm not really,
no. Look, what's Gareth Southgate had to say to you since you've arrived? Has he had much time with you?
Yeah, I've spoken with him a few times. He's a good coach, and like I was saying, he was happy for me to be here, and just really said, just show what you can do, really take your chances, and just play with a smile on your face as always. So that's what I'm going to try and do.
Obviously, the competition for places at England is really high everywhere, but in your positions, it seems to be more stiff of a competition than ever. You've obviously got Harry Kane up front, Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho, your teammate Marcus Rashford, who's pulled out in the wider positions, and then Jack Grealish comes in. Do you feel ready to compete with those guys?
Yeah, obviously, I feel ready to compete with anyone, really. I'm like in the league, just as I was saying, just going out there with a smile on your face and just playing football, really, and that's what it's all about. Obviously, we're an England team here, and it's good that everyone's pushing for places and stuff. It makes the training better. Obviously, it makes the games better, but we're a team here, so it's just how it is.
Last one from me. I don't know whether you remember this, but a lot of us journalists do. Back in 2016, England were humiliated by Iceland who you play on Saturday, when they were knocked out of the Euros by them back in 2016. You were 14 at the time. Can you remember where you were and where you watched that game?
Probably not. No, it was a bit long ago, isn't it? Really. So I don't really have a clue where I was, to be honest with you.
You were still at school, though, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Mason, good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Next, I understand Faye from TalkSport is... Oh, it's working now, actually. So before we go to Faye, we'll go to Ian Dennis from BBC.
Hi, Mason. Nice to
okay?
talk to you. Forgive the lit mic. It's just something that we're recording at the other end. So is it true, Mason, that you began as a midfielder? And when did you realise then that you were a natural goal scorer?
I didn't really play midfield much. He was like the number 10 role, just behind the striker and stuff, really. But as I was going on to the youth teams at United, really, I got pushed forward onto the number nine position. I just started scoring goals, so it just came naturally for me then.
You've been described as having freakish goal-scoring ability, and you've obviously proven that this season. I mean, it's been a wonderful season for you. What would you say is the biggest thing that you've actually learned during your breakthrough campaign?
Just to be level-headed, really. You can't let much get to you, really. You've just got to be always concentrating and always ready to play on the pitch, really, because as soon as you lose concentration, anything can happen, really. So, as I was saying before, you just got to be always focused and just always ready for the opportunities to come.
And if you want to stay grounded, you've had high praise. Alan Shearer actually believes that you could break his Premier League goal-scoring record in 12, 13 years' time. What's it like when you get praise from people such as Alan Shearer, and also you've been praised recently by Wayne Rooney as well?
Obviously, it's nice to hear that, and obviously he's been a legend. He's done it all in the league, and he's been good at England as well. So for someone like that to be saying that about me, it's nice to hear and stuff like that. But as I was saying before, it's just all about keeping level-headed and just focused.
Thanks,
and finally from me, who has been the biggest influence in your career and why?
I'd say Marcus, really, to be honest with you, because he's come through the same pathway as I was at the club. So it's really just he's helped me a lot, obviously, and he's done the same, really. So he's been in my position and he knows how it feels. So it's nice to have someone like that and someone to look up to, but also I play with him as well, which is another bonus.
And when you see what he's doing off the field as well, with his attempts to try and end child food poverty, everybody at United must be very proud of him.
Yeah, he's a good lad, and obviously we're all proud of him. We're all looking after him, and it's amazing what he's trying to do, really.
Thanks, Ian. Next, we'll go to Faye Carruthers from TalkSport.
Thanks. Hi, Mason.
Hi, okay.
Kind of following on from what Ian said there, he mentioned Wayne Rooney's comments on top of Alan Shearer's. Wayne Rooney actually said you were the best finisher at Manchester United, but you can be Harry Kane's understudy for England, at least for now, and then lead the line perhaps in the future as well. What actually is it like when you hear comments like that, particularly from England's all-time leading scorer? And I know you're keeping your feet on the ground, but it still must be a real buzz to hear.
Yeah, obviously it's nice to hear them things, but it's all about staying focused and just proving your point on the pitch, really. But to hear things like that, obviously off Wayne, and obviously big United legend, it's amazing to hear. So obviously been watching him as a kid and stuff, so for him to be talking to me like that, it puts a smile on my face.
Has that always been your ambition from a young age to lead the line for England?
Yeah, obviously, like who wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? Every young kid looks at the goal scorers, looks at the people, the flaring good players, but hopefully one day.
Thanks, Faye. Next, we'll head to Keanu Rattray, who joins us from the Black Collective of Media in Sport. Keanu, far away.
Hi, Marcus, sorry, apologies. Hi, Mason. You know, you as an 18-year-old, you know, you're maybe like when you was younger, you would look up to a lot of players as role models, and they look at their types of responsibilities. For you as a young player, you know, where you started to recognize your status as a role model, and you know, potentially being able to incite change socially.
Pardon, can you repeat that question, please? I didn't quite hear you.
You know, as a young player, you know, there was probably a time when you looked at players who were older than you, and you looked at them as role models. You know, yourself now being in the starting 11 for United, do you see yourself accepting the responsibilities as a role model? And you know, do you understand that what the responsibilities that come with that?
Yeah, obviously, it's nice to be a role model, and obviously, people have been like that before in the academy at United. Obviously, you've got your Marcus, your Cheshires, your Scott, and I feel like that I'm maybe in that position now. So all the younger kids that may look up to me, it's nice to have people looking up to you and supporting your pathway at United. So it's good.
And with so many great young players coming through the squad right now, yourself, Phil Foden, Jadon Sancho, what is this? Why should England fans be, excited for the future?
There's a lot of talent in England right now, as you can see in the Premier League and obviously abroad, and the young lads are obviously capable to do it, as you can see the performances on the pitch this last season. So it's good to see that all the young lads are coming through and obviously pushing for places now. So it's nice and good.
Thanks, Keanu. Next, we'll go to your colleague from the Black Collective Media and Sport, is Anisha Dobra.
Hi, Mason. Just one question to ask. With Manchester United finally showing some consistency both on and off the pitch, and with this imminent signing of Donny van de Beek, how excited are you for the upcoming season? And do you finally believe that United can finally close the gap on your nearest rivals, United, City and Liverpool?
Obviously, and we've had a good season, and we hopefully next season we'll look into push them places, not just to finish in the Champions League places, also to push for the league really. And it's been a long time coming, and I feel like we're starting to get there. We're finally starting to be ready to be pushing for them places up at the top of the table.
Thanks, Anisha. Next, we'll return to cut her off shortly, but Faye Carruthers, if you come back with, I believe you've got one more left.
Yeah, just one more. That's fine. Thanks very much, Andy. Mason, just one more question for you. I'd just love to know who you're most looking forward to playing with if you do get your opportunity in these upcoming games.
For me, it'd be Harry Kane. Obviously, when I was in the youth team, I was watching him in the Premier League, and obviously he's a good finisher, as you can see. So it'd be nice to play with him because also he's one of my teammates. He also is a role model as well. So it'd be nice to play with him.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Thanks, Faye. We'll shortly be moving into a final 5 minutes embargoed until 10:30 p.m. this evening. But before we do, we'll finish with two more questions before we do. Rob Dorsett from Sky Sports News.
Mason, can I just ask you about Donny van de Beek? Looks like he's going to be an imminent teammate of yours. How much have you seen of him, and how big an asset will he be for Manchester United?
For me, it's not really for me to say really. That's the club and stuff to start out with, but I've seen some stuff of him, and he does look like a good promising player, so that's good there though.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Thank you.
John Cross, you have your hand raised. Is that for this live section or for the embargoed section?
No, embargoed. Sorry, I thought you were opening it up for embargoed. Sorry.
No problem. So from this point onwards, we're embargoed until